Fans and addicts, welcome to track 1 of the Big O. The final bout on this track tonight will feature the Wheels of Justice, hailing from Rose City, taking on the Texecutioners of the Texas Roller Girls. We're going to kick it over to the King real quick for our keys to the game.
All right, this is the King, and this is the King's keys to the game. When you're looking at Texas, one of the big tall orders they've got to focus on is stopping Scald Eagle. All weekend, Scald Eagle has tore up teams, ripped through the defense, and racked up big scores. This is the team that can do it. Texas can lock her down and stop her. They also have to look at playing more power jams with offense. They are a passive team, and they need to look at capitalizing on those penalties. Defense to offense faster. Lauren Much and Scald Eagle are fast jammers, so when you play some offense to get your jammer out, you better be ready to form that wall and jump back on defense very quickly, because those jammers are going to get around and bust through anything that's not solid. Now for Rose City, my keys to their game: stay out of the penalty box. The more players you have on the track, the less opportunities to have free points given to Texas. Also have a plan with Scald Eagle and Much are out of the game or off the track. You need to know if you're going to play offense, if you're going to play more defense. What are you going to do to help that other jammer get through this Texas defense? And the last key to, I think, Rose City's game is you have to have at least or more than 50% of the lead jammers in this game to have a chance to stay close in this game with Texas. Texas is a strong team. They've got some great defense. You better get your jammer out, and you better do it often. And that's going to be the King's keys to this game.
All right, the skating roster for the Wheels of Justice tonight. Number 100, Mercy. Number 127, Jessica Chestnut. 1719, Scylla Devour. 17H, The Blast Unicorn. 1889, Jessica Shipley. Number 2, Megan Moffitt. 210, Heidi Goes Seek. 26, Sarah Gaither. 426, Ripley. 47, Penny Dreadful. 50, Scald Eagle. 523, Jessica Rodriguez. 77, Lauren Much. And 934, Jamie True.
And for the Texas Roller Girls Texecutioners, we have 02 Shortcut, 03 Olivia Shootin' John, 108 Fifi Nominum, number 12 DeBello DeBall, number 1600 Barbara Ambush, number 19 Molotov M. Pale, number 22 Polygon, number 30 Bloody Mary, number 33 Loose Bandit, number 420 Stone Her, number 5 Smarty Pants, and number 55 Hoss the Boss, number 813 Bitter Cup, and 989 is Sarah Heupel.
Well, fans, we are about ready to get this underway. It looks like the contingent of blockers on the track for both teams. Scald Eagle already lined up behind the jam line for Rose City.
And Olivia Shootin' John ready for Texas.
I have been waiting for this bout for months.
It's pretty exciting. Well, earlier today we saw both of these teams beat teams go head-to-head and very evenly matched, so it's going to be an interesting game for the A team as well.
The house is packed, the skaters are in place, the referees are about ready to get this rolling.
We want to remind everyone to please keep all arms, legs, beverages.
And it looks like Rose moving back to the back, starting at the pivot line.
Scald Eagle tries to dance to the inside, now moves to the outside, going through turn 1, around the bend. She is through lead jammer Rose City.
Olivia Shootin' John caught behind a 4-wall in front of Oli blockers, sneaking around the outside, push to the outside.
That's Shipley and Scylla Devour trying to move her to the inside. Scald Eagle working against the pack on her scoring pass. Goes to her toe stops, dances on the outside line. 3 points.
That was Smarty Pants giving her a little nudge to the outside, forcing that call. But Rose coming out strong with the first lead jam, 3-0.
Lauren Much lined up behind the jam line for Rose City.
And that is veteran skater Bloody Mary, the most veteran of all skaters starting on this travel team since its inception.
4-on-4 in the pack to start. Texas with their blockers lined up in front of the Wheels of Justice blockers to start the jam. Lauren Much pushed to the outside of the far straightaway. She goes to one skate through turn one, dances into turn two, lead jammer, Wheels of Justice.
Rose coming out strong with leads for both of these jams. Bloody Mary still caught behind a four-wall.
Lauren Much goes round all the way around the outside. 5-point grand slam for Rose City.
And it looks like Polygon going to the penalty box.
Jessica Chestnut, Jamie True, and Megan Moffitt up front working against Texas jammer. Lauren Much in the backfield trying to get some offense from Chestnut.
Bloody Mary is now through, eligible to score points. Pack advantage is for Rose City right now.
Rodriguez offense on the outside, frees Lauren Much for 4 points. It looks like she may have been whistled for a penalty on that, and it is. Rodriguez reporting to the penalty box for Rose City.
And again, if you're watching from home, Rose is in the white jerseys with purple accents. Texas in the black with red accents. And it's always easy to follow Scald Eagle with an eagle on her face.
And that is Haas the Boss lined up opposite her. Haas the Boss, of course, with that amazing performance in the WFTDA championships last season.
Now on a starting jammer rotation for Texecutioners.
Scald Eagle barrels through the Texecutioners defense on her way to lead jammer. Mercy moving Haas the Boss to the inside of turn one. Scald Eagle around the track, already engaging the pack on a scoring pass. Scylla Devour and the Blast Unicorn working against Haas the Boss in turn two.
The Texas Jammers having a little trouble with the Ole defense here. We were worried about the Texas defense. The Rose defense. We were worried about the Texas defense.
Well, Haas the Boss having to fight against Mercy and Scylla Devour at the front of the pack. She clears on her initial pass.
Polygon taking Scald to the inside a little bit, forcing that call, but not before 4 more points go on the board for Rose. 21 now. Texas has yet to score. Still 26.5 minutes left in this first half. Texas is going to have to work on that defense. We talked about King's tips earlier. Stop Scald. Well, so far they haven't done that.
Smarty Pants, though, some nice positional blocking at the end of that jam to slow Scald roll.
Exactly. That's what they have to do, is just slow and stop her.
I believe that's Jessica Chestnut jamming for Wheels of Justice.
And that would be OJ for Texas.
Heidi Go Seek, Sarah Gaither, Megan Moffitt trying to hold back Olivia Shooten-John. Olivia Shooten-John playing a little defense there in turn two as well.
That's right, a little defense taking the other jammer to the outside. Both jammers having to reset behind the pack now.
Olivia Shooten-John to the outside, or inside, Chestnut to the outside.
It looks like Polygon is assessing another penalty. Now Texas 3 blockers on the track.
Smarty Pants has been a thorn in Chestnut's side this jam. Great positional blocking in the backfield by her.
And lead jammer goes to Texas now. Olivia Shooten-John fighting her way. That was a long 2 turns around the track before that lead jam happened.
Jessica Chestnut recycled again. Smarty Pants there to meet her. Multiplayer block being assessed down in turn 3. Wheels of Justice losing Heidi Go Seek to the penalty box.
And now we've got Fifi Nominum taking Rose Jammer to the inside. And there's a big wall of Texas in the back. Another 5 points on the board for Olivia Shooten-John.
Bell start. Jessica Shipley tried to hold her up there in turn 4.
It's going to be hard for me, too. She's skated as Bell Star for so long with Texas, actually. That is 5 more points on the board for OJ. Texas defense just locking down Chestnut.
That's right. Jessica Chestnut having a hard time with that Texas defense.
Getting her hips around is Jessica Chestnut down on one knee.
Jessica Chestnut looking a little winded. This has been a long jam for her.
That's right, it took 2 laps to get the lead jammer, but OJ is still fighting her way. Goes around the outside. A lot of tumbling going on. Legal procedure call.
Hit after the 4th whistle. Moffitt reporting to the penalty box for Rose City.
And that was 15 points for OJ on that last lap. That was enough to close this gap a little bit. Now Texas with 15, Rose with 21. So they didn't stop Scald, but they did stop Chestnut.
Lauren Much jamming once again for Rose City.
And that's Bloody Mary for Texas. Bloody Mary out first, lead jammer for Texas.
Jamie True being sent to the penalty box for Rose City.
Bloody Mary blazing through the center of that pack. Jigs and jives and 5 points on the board, and that's going to close that gap to 1 point.
Penny Dreadful, some inverse offense to free Lauren Much from turn 2. She is clear on her initial pass.
And Bloody Mary calls it. Puts 4 more points on the board. Now Texas with a lead change here. 24 on the board. Rose with 21. A lot of action already in this first 7 minutes.
And I don't know if it's coming across on the feed, but this building is extremely loud right now.
There's a lot of people in this room. I think everybody is actually in this room right now, unless they're skating on the other 2 tracks.
Scald Eagle on the jam line for Rose City.
And that is Haas the Boss for Texas.
Scald Eagle going to the inside. Moves to the outside into turn 1 and back to the inside once again. Nice Texas defense moving her side to side.
That's right, that's Barbara Ambush, Smarty, and Heupel.
Scald Eagle finds room on the inside of the far straightaway. Lead jammer, Rose City. True out of the penalty box for Wheels of Justice. That gives them a 1 blocker advantage.
Haas the Boss, meanwhile, does get through now, eligible to score points, but Scald's going to go ahead and call it. Reset, start all over again here. Now Texas on the board still with 24. Rose now with another lead change, 25. I think it's going to be very similar to the B team game earlier today. A little back and forth action.
Back and forth, lead changes, intrigue for 60 full minutes. Jessica Rodriguez lined up on the jam line for Wheels of Justice.
And that is OJ for Texas.
Wheels of Justice blockers set up midway between the pivot line and the jam line, just in front of the Texas blockers.
We do have 4-on-4 in the pack. Empty penalty box. OJ battling her way through the last 2 blockers and trying to get past French Tickler, but she does it, and she is lead jammer.
Rodriguez in the chaos, blocking with the head. She is sent to the penalty box for 30 seconds.
30 seconds. This is a power jam for the Executioners.
That Chestnut trying to take OJ to the inside, but not to be thwarted. 5 more points go on the board for Texas. Another lead change.
Texas coming at the offense from both sides of the track. Rose City skates out front, trying to stop Olivia Shootin' That's Gaither knocking her to the outside. Polygon being sent to the penalty box for the Texecutioners.
That's 3rd penalty, I believe, now for Polygon.
Rodriguez out of the penalty box. Texecutioners blockers set up waiting for her. 3-on-4 in the pack, favoring Rose City.
OJ trying to push that wall slowly but surely. And
Smarty Pants and Rodriguez going at each other in the far straightaway. Rodriguez clears the pack on her initial pass, and the jam is whistled dead.
So much excitement already. Texas now 34 points, opening up the gap a little bit. Rose with 25. Scald was 3 for 3 for lead jammer status. But they don't have her back out. Now it is actually Bloody Mary back on the line for Texas. 3-on-3 in the pack.
Lauren Much, jammer of record for the Wheels of Justice. Again, Wheels of Justice blockers setting up in front of the Texecutioners blockers.
That's right, favoring that front wall. Bloody Mary just bouncing off of Skilla.
Heidi goes Seek to the penalty box for the Wheels of Justice. Scylla Devour and Bloody Mary in a battle up front, and look at the 2 of them go. Much mayhem trying to fight against the Texecutioners blockers.
You can probably hear a little bit through the microphone, but the crowd is going wild. This is the bout I think that people have been waiting for all weekend long.
Lauren Much clear on her initial pass. Executioners putting up 4 points on the board and calling off the jam.
Again, if you haven't figured it out, Texas in the black, white and purple for the Rose players. 38 on the board for Texas, 25 for Rose. 18.5 minutes left already in this very exciting first half of this match.
The time is moving too quickly. We need to slow it down.
Very quickly. Well, this game is moving very quickly.
Scald Eagle on the jam line for the Wheels of Justice.
And that is Haas the Boss for Texas.
Scald Eagle doing what she does best, moves to one toe stop and picks up lead jammer.
So I believe that is her 4th consecutive lead jam.
Haas the Boss already out on her initial pass as well. Scald trying to get some inverse offense.
And it is Haas that sneaks through the inside. 4 points going on the board for Texas. Scald only not calling it off quick enough, only picking up 2. 42 now for Texas, 27 for Rose.
Was Haas the Boss there jumping a little bit of the apex?
That's, yeah, putting a little Scald on Scald. So Texas extending that gap just a little bit, trying to get a little bit more comfortable in their lead. But, you know, that will change probably very quickly.
Lauren Much getting some offense from Rodriguez there at the front of the pack. Not quite enough to spring her. She gets recycled to the back.
OJ trying to fight her way through as well, but it is Much that gets lead jam for Rose.
Finds room on the inside. Scylla Devour headed to the penalty box, courtesy of a multiplayer block. Lauren Much hits the back of the pack hard, bounces to the infield. No points on that jam.
No, Costa Boss so quick on her feet, just screaming around that corner, forcing that call. So we stand here at 42-27 in favor of Texas. Now lining back up for Texas is Bloody Mary.
Opposite her, Scald Eagle.
And we have Fifi Nominum in the penalty box, as well as a Rose player. So we 3-on-3 in the pack, and the pack is at the jammer line with Texas favoring the front.
That is Scylla Devour starting this jam in the penalty box. Scald Eagle rolls to the outside. Lead jammer, Wheels of Justice.
Bloody Mary just trying to get past those last 2 players. As she does, she's eligible to score, but Scald in control of this jam.
Scald Eagle round the outside of Shortcut on her way to that 4 points, checking in with the penalty box. Gonna choose to roll this jam. Both jammers in the pack, multiplayer block being assessed to Chestnut.
That is Jessica Chestnut on her way to the box.
So Bloody Mary picking up another 4 points. Scald calling it off after picking up 5 herself.
Rose City positive 1 point differential on that scoring pass.
So now Texas standing with 46 on the board, 36 for Rose, only 10 points between these 2 teams. I have a feeling this is going to be going on like this back and forth for a little while.
I don't think either team is going to have a lot of breathing room between now and the final whistles.
I will have to agree with that. Lining back up now is Haas the Boss for Texas.
Lauren Much again on the jam line for Rose City.
We do have pack advantage 4-3 in favor of Texas.
Chestnut still in the penalty box from the penalty she picked up in the last jam. Very tight pack just now entering turn 1. Neither jammer making a lot of headway through the pack. Lauren Much pushed to the inside.
Both these teams just so strong on defense. You know, it's going to be, the jammers have to do extra work to try to get through.
Nice recovery by Shipley there. Lauren Much on one skate, picks up lead jammer.
Lauren Much keeping those skates moving. She grabs lead jammer for Rose City.
Haas the Boss moved to the back. Jamie True some offense. Gonna be assessed a high block. She is headed to the penalty box.
Grand slam for
Haas the Boss now freed herself and now out in front, ineligible to score points.
Nice coordinated offense by Texas. That was Bittercup moving from the outside to the in on that offense.
That's right, pushing the entire pack to the inside. That's exactly what Texas needs to do, is this very aggressive. I'm calling it sort of the cyclone wall, I think I've came up with. It's not really a wall, it's just constantly moving like a cyclone. 46 now for Texas, 43 for Rose. 3 points between these two teams. The excitement is killing me.
Fans, I hope you are enjoying this, and I hope you stick through the entire 60 minutes. This one should prove to be amazing.
So Rose had the lead jam the last 4 jams.
Lauren Much, no, excuse me, that's Sarah Gaither jamming for Rose City.
And that is OJ in the middle of the pack for Texas. Looks like OJ is going to be freed first, and she is lead jammer. And that is Rose jammer going to the penalty box for a track cut, so power jam for Texas.
Gaither's toe stop must have hit the infield on that one. She whistled to the penalty box.
OJ calling it off, picking up 5 points. We were talking about how to capitalize on those power jams. I'm not sure if there was a strategy or if that was an error on OJ's part. Maybe we're just going to reset and start fresh with fresh legs in the pack. And those fresh legs belong to Bloody Mary.
Well, you can't ask for much more a dangerous jammer to be out there in this situation. Rose City does have the benefit of having all 4 blockers on the track. Texas going passive with the offense to start the jam. Scald Eagle in a blocking roll out there with Scylla Devour and Heidi Go Seek. Direction of play penalty being assessed to Scald Eagle.
Bloody Mary with only 2 more blockers to contend with at the front of the pack.
Bloody Mary and Scylla Devour going at each other once again. Bloody Mary held up trying to get the direction of play penalty on Scylla Devour. Scylla would not bite on that.
Now she stayed pretty firm, but now
Gaither going back to the penalty box. It was a track cut call, apparently.
For the executioners, courtesy of Bloody Mary.
5-point scoring pass for Bloody Mary as she comes around again.
So now let's see if she will capitalize on this power jam. Oh, and she is going to call it, so we're starting with Texas in a power jam. The next jam, we do have Rose Jammer standing, so there's not going to be a whole lot of time to get through. Texas now 59 on the board, Rose with 43, 11 and a half minutes left of this very fast and furious first half of this bout.
I believe Texas now with their biggest lead at 16. They did have it up to 15 at one point. Rose scaled that back to 3.
But that was a whole jam ago. That is Haas the Boss pushing through the 4-wall of Rose players.
Gaither exiting the penalty box. Texas blockers making her come all the way back in through turn 4.
That was the last bout that they played yesterday. So much excitement. It is Haas the Boss through, and she is lead jammer for Texas.
Cat pass to Scald Eagle. She clears the pack. That was her initial pass. Penalty in the backfield. Or not.
That's 4 more points assessed for Haas the Boss. Barbara Ambush forcing Scald back to the back of the pack, and Scald going out for a track cut now. Power jam for Texas. Haas the Boss picking up another 5 points, so now 68 on the board, 43 Rose.
Texas methodically picking away at Rose City right now. Haas the Boss doing some work down in turn 3. Chestnut returns to play. Haas the Boss through the pack, 5 points. Texecutioners.
Texas moving up front to break through that wall, freeing Haas, giving Haas a little bit of room, and they have to let her go. Haas picks up another 5 points for Texas.
Texecutioners going to make Scald Eagle come back in at turn 3 this time as Haas the Boss works on the pack for a scoring pass.
Another 5 in the sky for Haas the Boss.
Scald Eagle working against the Texecutioners blockers at the front of the pack. That's Stoner up front with...
That is Barbara Ambush. Of course, Barbara Ambush, another veteran player for Texas and the captain.
4 points for Scald Eagle on that scoring pass, and the jam comes to an end.
And at the last whistle there, that's Stoneher being sent off. So now Texas down 1 player. 28 points on that last jam for Haas the Boss. That is a big, big score. When we're talking about having to capitalize on those power jams, well, Haas the Boss just showed us how that is done. Now 87 on the board for Texas, 47 for Rose.
40-point difference, under 9 minutes to go in this first half of play. Lauren Much jamming. Started going to the outside, ducked back through the middle. Now on the inside, finds the rail. Lead jammer, Wheels of Justice.
Lead jammer for Rose City.
Jamie True, Jessica Chestnut, Moffitt, and Scylla Devour up front playing defense. Much hits the back of the pack.
One to beat at the front.
Fifi Nominum moving up and not quite quick enough. Has to let her go. 5 more points on the board now for Rose.
Cap pass being attempted down in turn 4. There is so much going on, we should both be talking at the same time. And we've got Smarty Pants through.
Smarty Pants, you're picking up that star pass now. Of course, Texas with a very deep jammer rotation. We saw earlier today, Kansas City game, 3 completely different jammers skated the second half of the bout. So any of these players could go out. Texas now with the lead of 87, Rose with 61, just under 8 minutes left.
Well, and when you've got teams that are playing at this level, you have your set jammer rotations, and then you have the secondary set of jammers. Both of these teams extremely deep in their jammer talent.
Absolutely. And of course, Jessica Shipley, formerly known as Bellstar, of course, very familiar with this team. And I believe this is the first game that she has played against her former teammates.
I believe you're correct, yeah.
So that has to be pretty exciting for her.
These teams did not meet each other at the regional tournament last year. So yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right.
So that's got to be a little scary, having known exactly what the Texecutioners do to practice. So, I don't know if it helps or if it hinders her, because it could be, you know exactly what you're up against.
Well, you may be able to be armed with the knowledge on the track, but you still got to go out and execute.
Exactly. So executing now for Rose is Scald Eagle, and that is Bloody Mary for Texas.
Pack extremely congested as it moves from the jam line to the pivot line. Scald Eagle heads to the outside, moved off the line by Fifi Nomenon. Great work by Texas up front, moves Scald Eagle to the inside.
And that's Barbara Ambush going out to the penalty box.
4-3 blocker advantage for Rose City. Scald Eagle takes advantage. Lead jammer, Wheels of Justice.
Bloody Mary only 1 more player to get past, and she does so. She is also in scoring range.
Scald Eagle with a back block penalty going to send her to the penalty box once again.
So now Bloody Mary in a power jam with a huge 4-wall of Rose in front.
And that's one of Bloody Mary's favorite opposing blockers, Scylla Devour, out there.
And Bloody Mary is through. 5 more points on the board for Texas.
Every time Rose City gets themselves back into striking distance, they end up shooting themselves in the foot. Texecutioners taking advantage of those miscues.
Well, that was they had a little penalty trouble yesterday. That's exactly what they need to try to avoid. They need to tighten that up a little bit.
Great battle going on up front. That's Mercy Shipley and Scylla Devour. This is going to be my favorite battle all night. Scylla Devour, Bloody Mary up front. Scylla trying to wear her down. And a direction of play penalty whistled on Scylla Devour. She will report to the penalty box.
I think that's what Bloody Mary was waiting for. Bloody Mary is a very patient jammer. She will just take the opportunity, just keep pushing on you just a little bit, waiting for you to make that mistake. And that patience paid off in this case. Sending Scylla to the box, freeing Bloody Mary. It's put more points on the board for Texas. Now 97 for Texas, 64 for Rose. 5.5 minutes left in this first half. That was a quick 25 minutes. A lot of action out there.
Lauren Much jamming for Wheels of Justice.
And that is Haas the Boss for Texas.
Lauren Much immediately going at Sarah Heupel, trying to find room on the inside to work. Goes to the outside. Pushed outside by Bittercup, who's going to recycle her all the way back to turn 4. Chestnut and Moffitt working the front. Penny Dreadful bridging in the middle.
Haas the Boss doing what she does so well, picking up lead jam for Texas. A little spin around the outside, and she is in.
Lauren Much trying to power her way through. Penny Dreadful and Molotov M. Pale going at one another in the pack.
And that is 5 more points on the board for Texas. Haas the Boss sneaking through the inside untouched.
Lauren Much clearing the pack on her initial pass. She is eligible to score. Hits the back of the pack. Action is deep inside turn 3 and 4. Lauren Much recycled outside of turn 3. Haas the Boss being held up by Chestnut, Penny Dreadful, and Moffitt in turn 4. Penny Dreadful now headed to the penalty box for Wheels of Justice.
And that is another 4 points on the board for Haas the Boss, and 4 points also for Rose.
Texas okay right now with trading points.
Well, it's all strategy, you know, clock management. We're seeing actually a lot of that, and Texas is very good at that.
Scylla Devour moving Haas the Boss back, and everybody's going to go backward.
They're skating the wrong way.
You know, if they skate the wrong way fast enough, we might turn back time and put more time on the clock.
Well, we have about 3.5 minutes left. There'll be more time after the halftime. Another 30 minutes. 4 more points on the board from Lauren Much. And that is the end of that very exciting jam, which went backwards for half of it. 106 now for 106 for Texas, 72 for Rose. In just under 3 minutes, we'll probably get a couple more jams out of this first half.
Well, it looked like 3 more points for Haas the Boss at the tail end of that jam.
40 points scored for Haas the Boss on that last jam. So the last 2 times together. That's pretty big points.
Yes, it is. Jessica Rodriguez wearing the star for Rose City.
And that looks like it's OJ buried under all of those old Rose blockers.
Well, we definitely saw 2 different clusters of skaters there. Rodriguez trying to find an answer to the front of the pack. True up to play offense. Blast Unicorn headed to the penalty box. Blocker advantage to Executioners. Jammers are having to push for every inch they get on that track, it seems like.
And they sure are, both of them. The whole pack is just one big clump in the middle. I think they're just all pushing on each other at this point. As Fifi Nominum and Barbara Ambush up in front. Have to let her go, though.
No pass, no penalty for Rodriguez as she clears the pack on her initial pass. Looks like 3 points for the Texecutioners.
And they're looking for that neon tape on the referee's fingers. I didn't know what it was at first. I thought they had painted their fingernails. I was like, what is going on? And I realized, oh, you can actually see them, how many fingers they hold up now. It's actually very clever.
I'm not going to lie. I thought they painted their fingernails too.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Texas 112 on the board, 72 for Rose. 1.5 minutes left. We'll probably get one more jam. We do have a timeout now assessed for Rose.
I believe this is actually Rose City's official review.
You are correct. There it says right there on the screen, official review.
Not exactly sure what it is that Rose City is asking for the review. We, of course, will let you know as soon as we find out.
So the last time that these two teams met was actually 2 years ago. So it's been a while, and a lot can happen in 2 years, and that was a loss for Texas. That was 117 points to Rose's 149. The year before, Texas also with a loss to Rose, 79 to 105 in 2011. And then the last time before that, there was a win for Texas, but that was all the way back in 2008. So 113 to 60. And, you know, so much has happened in the last 2 years. 2 sets of rule changes, a lot faster packs.
A certain skater moving from one team to another.
Something like that may have happened. That certain skater may have changed her name.
So head referee, is that Philip McCrevis over there addressing the coaches and captains for each team? You see that there on your screen?
So far this weekend, Rose has played Philly with a win from Philly, 252 to 199. And Rose
no call stands.
Not sure whether or not you completely got that at home, but Rose was challenged the lack of a low block call against the Texecutioners. We were informed that there was not enough evidence to warrant a call when one was not made on the track. So the non-call stands.
All right, a non-call we have. So if that stands, then still the points still stand. 112 now, still for Texas, 72 for Rose. Scald Eagle on the line for Rose, and that is Smarty Pants jamming for the first time tonight for Texas.
Smarty Pants trying to push out Gaither on the outside. Scald Eagle finds room on the inside. Lead jammer, Wheels of Justice. Scald Eagle already around the track, working on a scoring pass. Looked like she might have been trying to call off the jam, decided not to, has cleared the pack now on a 4-point scoring pass.
And that is 4 more points on the board for Texas. Scald Eagles.
Pirouettes through turn 4, 4-point scoring pass, and that got a rise out of the crowd in turn 4.
I was looking for the right word. Pirouette is a good one. I was like, what was it really? It was something very fancy. 116 now for Texas, 80 for Rose. Haas the Boss lining back up for Texas, 4-4 in the pack. Texas favoring the back wall.
Lauren Much lining up close to the inside line, dances now more towards the middle. Pushes through, goes to the outside, lead jammer, Wheels of Justice.
Number 77.
Right behind her, Haas the Boss.
I did not advance as the jammers in those situations.
That is DeBella DeBall and Barbara Ambush stealing a little real estate there, forcing Munch to call off that jam.
1 point for Rose City, 2 points for the Texecutioners on that jam, and that brings us to halftime. All right, everybody catch your breath real quick. Texas 118, Rose City 81. We're gonna let you take that breath. We will come back in about 8 minutes or so. Thank you for joining us. All righty, welcome back to the Big O, ladies and gentlemen. We are gonna kick it over to the King for his halftime notes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's at halftime, and I want to give you some of the tales of the tape that we've tallied up so far. As you can see from the score, Texas sitting at 118, Rose City is at 81. There's a 30-point difference right now, and here's the reason why. Right now, penalties are racking up for Rose City. That was one of my keys of the game. Stay out of the penalty box. They've got 18 penalties right now. Texas only has 11. Lead jammer status, so Rose City has the advantage with 12, so they needed that over 50%, and right now they've got it because Texas only has 9. The scoring, though, here's the difference. The only 2 people who have scored are Scald Eagle and Much Mayhem. Scald Eagle has 40 points, Much Mayhem has 41. They need to find another option on the track right now for them to score. And that was one of our other keys to the game. Whoever your third jammer is, you got to get her involved, and you got to have a plan for how to get her involved. Right now, the highest scorers are Boss with 37 and Olivia with 32. Texas has also had a benefit of 3 power jams, and Rose City has not had a power jam yet in their favor. So we need to see a little bit more action from Rose City, another depth in the jammer war. And if Rose City wants to get back in this game, that's the key for them. Texas, just keep the adrenaline up, stop Scald Eagle, slow down everything, and keep everybody else from scoring. Back to you.
Well, there we have it. So Scald and Munch, the only 2 jammers to score points, and we talked about the deep jammer bench that Texas has. We have a 3-jammer rotation right now, Bloody Mary, Haas the Boss, and OJ, but we've also seen Smarty Pants go out and jam. Hypo can go out and jam at any time. We've seen Fifi Nominum go out and jam, so that's already 6 jammers that were very able and willing to go out and score for Texas.
Well, like we talked about, when you have teams at this level, they are deeply talented. And so though you have skaters that may not often wear the jammer cap, it's not that they can't.
Correct. And like King said, Rose is going to have to try to find another option. It looks like Scald is being slowed down. She was the one for Texas to look out for, and they're doing a good job of slowing her down. Not shutting her down completely, but definitely slowing her down.
We're about ready to get the second half underway. Lauren Much lined up on the jam line for Rose City.
And that is Haas the Boss from Texas.
Lauren Much choosing to work on the inside. 3-wall of defense set up by Texas. And Haas the Boss pushes through Rose City's wall. Lead jammer, Texecutioners.
And that is Loose Bandit heading to the penalty box for Texas. Pack advantage now for Rose.
Barbara ambush and 108 Fifi Namanon trying to stop Lauren Much. She clears the pack on her initial pass.
But not enough time. Haas the Boss calling it off. No points scored for Rose on that last pass. That looks like 4 for Texas. Now Texas with 122.81 for Rose. And I bet this next 30 minutes will go by just as fast as the first one.
You are absolutely right. For the Wheels of Justice, Scald Eagle lined up on the jam line.
And it looks like Texas taking the front line here. Rose lined up behind them.
Scald Eagle goes to the inside, pushes through the center of the pack. Lead jammer, Wheels of Justice.
And that is Smarty Pants getting around the outside for Texas, now also in scoring range.
Chestnut giving chase. Scald Eagle clears the pack on the inside, picks up the points, calls off the jam. 4-0 point differential, Rose City.
That's right, Smarty Pants skating fast around the outside there and keeping the Scald Eagle from scoring too many points. 4 is actually good for her Scald. That's keeping it nice and low. 85 for Rose, 122 for Texas.
Lauren Much on the jam line once again for Rose City.
And it is pack advantage for Rose. Rose taking the front of the pack.
Olivia Shootin' jamming for Texecutioners, going right at Ripley. Lauren Much round the outside, lead jammer, Wheels of Justice. Ripley and Mercy working on Olivia Shootin' at the front of the pack. We got a multiplayer block on Ripley. She will head to the penalty box. Lauren Much now working on a scoring pass for the Wheels of Justice, goes low and outside.
Calling it off, though. Texas able to sneak in a quick 2 points, so only 1 point advantage for Rose in that last pass. 88 now for Rose, 124 for Texas. Texas, of course, if you're just tuning in, they have the black jerseys with red accents and Rose in white with purple accents.
Scald Eagle on the jam line for Rose City.
And that is Haas the Boss for Texas. 4-3 pack advantage for Texas.
Rose City again setting their blockers in front of the Texecutioners blockers. This jam started with everybody lined up on the outside lines. Scald Eagle trying to push against the Texecutioners 4-wall, gets pushed to the inside.
As Barbara Ambush and Bittercup and Polygon all with Scald at the back of the pack. Lead jam does go to Haas the Boss and Texas.
Well, we're seeing some of that Cyclone defense by Texas there. Scald Eagle clears the pack on her initial pass. Nice footwork. 4 point scoring pass for Haas the Boss as she calls off the jam.
Haas the Boss just really having Scald's number on this one. Of course, the pack keeping Scald at bay, which is exactly what they need to do. Stop Scald Eagle. 128 for Texas, 88 for Rose. Now 40 points between these two teams, and Texas with a little bit of breathing room, but not too much, I'm sure.
Lauren Much lined up on the jam line for Rose City. They've gone now to a 2-jammer rotation to start the second half.
And that is Smarty Pants now for Texas.
Molotov Mpale looking to play a little bit of offense on the inside. Couldn't quite spring Smarty Pants. She pushes out Jamie True, lead jammer, Texecutioners. Lauren Much being held up in the backfield by Texas. Much goes to her toe stops and clears the pack on her initial pass.
And that's shortcut heading to the penalty box for Texas. Now Rose in with pack advantage. Smarty Pants, though, does get through. 4 more points on the board.
Much mayhem being whistled to the box for a track cut penalty. Power jam Texecutioners.
And we've seen Texas do some good things with their power jams. Now with Smarty on the line, that's an excellent opportunity to put more points on the board, which she does with 5 more just now.
Texecutioners setting up offense active now. That's Fifi Nomenon up to disrupt the defense for Rose City.
And that is another 5 points. Yeah, this active defense or active offense is actually kind of exciting. So it's Fifi Nomenon going in as a pinball to break up those Rose players.
Fifi Nomenon wasn't even waiting for the jammer to come around. She was starting work early.
That's right. You know, you got to start early. And that is another 5 in the sky for Smarty Pants.
Lauren Much taking advantage of down skaters in the far straightaway. She is through for a 4-point scoring pass. Smarty Pants pushing against the defense. Plays a little bit of defense against Lauren Much. Fifi Nomenon, great positional blocking in the backfield against Lauren Much, who's having a hard time making headway on this scoring pass.
And Texas just locking it down on the inside line. All 4 of them in that cyclone wall.
Jamie True being whistled to the penalty box after a 5-point scoring pass for Smarty Pants.
So now Texas increasing that lead a little bit, again with a little bit of a buffer. 152 on the board, 95 for Rose. About just under 24 minutes left in this second half. Lots of exciting action. We do have 1 Rose player in the penalty box, so we have pack advantage for Texas. Rose is lining up at the front of, at the pivot line, it looks like.
Trying to give Scald Eagle a little room to accelerate it. Scald Eagle jamming opposite Olivia Shootin' John.
Olivia Shootin' John playing a little defense herself, though, knowing that we don't want to give Scald that room. Scald pulling OJ all the way back, and the jammers start all over again.
Scald trying to burden some of Jamie True's penalty time in the penalty box. Jammers hit the defense, which was waiting for them in turn 1.
Polygon heading to the penalty box for Texas.
Scald Eagle clears the pack, lead jammer Rose City. True out of the penalty box, mixing it up already with Olivia Shootin' John, who is headed to the penalty box, giving Rose City their first power jam.
It is a 4-arm penalty assessed on Olivia Shootin' John, so the first power jam now for Rose.
Scald Eagle fighting against Sarah Heipel, who's now being whistled to the penalty box for the Texecutioners. Grand slam, Rose City.
And pack advantage for Rose as well. Scald untouched around the inside. 5 more points for Rose.
Well choreographed offense from Rose City, keeping both blockers contained separately, and Scald Eagle traverses the pack once again for 5 more points.
This is exactly what Rose needs. They didn't have any power jams in the first half.
Illegal procedure for Polygon. Sorry about that.
No worries. Polygon heading to the penalty box for that illegal procedure.
Both jammers back on the track, mixing it up. Scald Eagle clears once again. 5-point grand slam, Rose City.
Scald Eagle on her toe stomp, up to 20 points.
Action on the track, fast and furious right now. Olivia Shootin' trying to get by True. Nice battle up front. True's got to let her go. That was Olivia Shootin''s initial pass.
And that is Scald calling it off. Rose, excellent opportunity, taking advantage of that power jam, closing the gap a little bit now. Only, we have a score update. Okay, 119 now for Rose, 155 for Texas. 24 points for Scald on that last jam. It's exactly what Rose needs to do. They need a few more of those. I'll have another one of those, please.
Rodriguez now coming out to jam for Wheels of Justice. A high block being called against Scylla Devour. She reports to the penalty box. And Rodriguez through the pack, lead jammer, Rose City.
And Haas the Boss hot on her heels, however, but pack advantage is right now in favor of Texas.
Rodriguez looking to pick up points, push to the inside, calls off the jam. Does get 2 points.
Okay, now 121 for Rose. Texas with 155. The second half is just as exciting as the first.
Those were the first 2 points picked up by a jammer that was not named Scald, Eagle, or Lauren Much for the Wheels of Justice.
Well, there we go. So maybe we have a third jammer in this rotation. Now in the jammer rotation for the second half, it looks like Smarty Pants again for Texas.
Lauren Much, jammer of record for Rose City, getting offense on the outside. Lead jammer, Wheels of Justice. Last Unicorn doing a fine job holding back Smarty Pants for a couple seconds as Lauren Much gets some offense from the Blast Unicorn, who is headed to the penalty box.
Barbara Ambush was heading over there, couldn't get there quite quick enough. Very disappointed look on her face. It sneaks on by the outside, untouched. 125 now for Rose, 155 for Texas. A little under 20 minutes left in this exciting matchup.
Scald Eagle lined up on the jam line for Rose City.
And that is Olivia Shootin' OJ for Texas. 4-on-3 pack advantage for Texas. Texas taking the back wall.
And the jam is underway. We've got a multiplayer block being assessed. That against Megan Moffitt, and Olivia Shootin' clears the pack. Lead jammer, Texecutioners. Scald Eagle fighting against a 2-wall up front. That's Loose Bandit up there trying to hold her back. Scald clears on her initial pass.
But that is OJ coming around the outside, calling it off. Not before putting another 4 points on the board. Texas is doing a really good job of keeping Scald checked back a little bit and keeping the big scorer that she is from scoring those big points.
For the most part, it seems like they're limiting her scoring to single passes. She is not getting many multiple passes for points against the Texecutioners.
Exactly, Texecutioners playing for short points right now. Sometimes you play for short points, sometimes you play for long. When you're playing up against Scald, they'll take the short.
Anything that's a positive point differential.
Exactly.
Lauren Much jamming for Rose City.
And that's Haas the Boss, Texas, coming through. Lead jam right out of the gate.
Scylla Devour headed to the penalty box for Rose City. Lauren Much getting recycled. She recovers and clears the pack on her initial pass. Haas the Boss now working against Rodriguez and the Blast Unicorn.
And that is Barbara Ambush going to the penalty box for Texas.
Moffitt going to the penalty box as well for Wheels of Justice. Lauren Much, 4 points, 3 points for Haas the Boss.
Haas the Boss is very good at just quickly closing that gap, keeping that point differential very small. 162 for Texas, 129 for Rose. Looks like we have a timeout for Texas.
Looked like there was an official review being called for by the Texecutioners. So coaches and captains head to the center. Every time Rose City has gotten themselves back within striking distance, the Texecutioners have had an answer.
2012, the final, 117 Texecutioners, 149 Rose City.
Again, the last time these two teams saw each other was a loss for Texas. Now it's almost 2 years ago. We've had several rule changes since then. The most recent one, though, the 30-second penalties, which just really keeping these games so much faster and much more exciting without these big blowout power jams. But we're still seeing some big points scored in those 30 seconds in some of these power jams.
Right, we've seen even 30-second power jams with 30-plus points scored in them.
So that just tells you what this sport is turning into. I mean, it is lots of, these are athletes, of course, and training several days a week. Texas now with our own practice space. We've had it since September. I think we are seeing the results of having our own practice space when you can go anytime, day or night.
Now, is there another viewer party going on in Texas at the practice facility like there was for championships last year?
Yes, I'm probably sure there is. So I guess we should probably say hi to everybody that's watching at the Bloodshed.
Howdy to John Porter and Chip Queso and everybody else down there.
Well, maybe so. I don't know who's going to be over there.
It's too bad y'all couldn't be here in this building, but I don't know that there'd be room for them. This room right here that we are in, very, very packed right now. And we're going to go down to the track and see if we can't get what the official review was about.
Announcing the Big O.
The lack of a cut call on the white jammer to the inside. There was no contact to the out of bounds area, thus no call of a cutting the track was made.
All right, just so everybody at home.
Cutting the track was made.
Just so everybody at home heard that, Texecutioners were looking for a track cut on the Rose City Jammer. There was not enough evidence to support such a claim, so the lack of a track cut call will stand.
Maybe the next incarnation will have instant replay. 162 still on the board for Texas, 129 for Rose. Scald Eagle back on the line for Rose.
And a very slow-moving pack to start.
Very slow-moving, and that's Smarty Pants again for Texas.
Smarty Pants trying to find room to work against Mercy on the inside. Scald Eagle gets around. Fifi Nomenon, lead jammer Rose City.
Smarty Pants now also through.
Gaither working against Fifi Nomenon. Track cut, Scald Eagle. Power jam, Texecutioners, and Smarty Pants already taking advantage. 5 points, Texecutioners.
Yes, we do have 4-on-4 in the pack.
Texas getting some offense by Fifi Nomenon. Not enough to get Smarty Pants through the pack, though. Wheels of Justice blockers have her trapped in turn 3, and as soon as I say that, she gets around them for a grand slam.
Smarty Pants, very good at positional jamming herself, so they let her fend for herself on that last pass.
Well, we have a forearm penalty assessed against Mercy. She will report to the penalty box as Scald Eagle leaves the penalty box area. And Megan Moffitt with another penalty for the Wheels of Justice as she exits the track.
And that is another 5 in the sky for Smarty Pants.
Scald Eagle pushed to the inside. I believe that call on Moffitt was a high block. Chaos down in turns 3 and 4 as Scylla Devour recycling Smarty Pants.
Scald Eagle does make it through, puts 4 points on the board. Smarty Pants also scoring another 5 on the board for Texas.
Gaither reporting to the penalty box for Wheels of Justice. Mercy returning back to the track. Scald Eagle clearing the pack.
And Smarty Pants letting the time run out on that. Both jammers scoring points. Smarty with just a couple more for a 2-point differential. 182 now for Texas, 133 for Rose.
Jukebox, coach of Rose City, not happy right now.
Smarty Pants has scored 35 points in the second half alone in the last 15 minutes. Just entering the jammer rotation for the second half.
That is Lauren Much jamming for Rose City.
And that is, of course, Haas the Boss for Texas.
Lauren Much tries to find room outside turn 1. Having a hard time getting through. Nice fight up front, and Haas the Boss, your lead jammer for the Texecutioners. Lauren Much trying to get some offense. Being moved side to side by Texas defense. That looks like Loose Bandit working her over. Gaither tries to draw the track cut, does. Power jam Rose City. Lauren Much finally pushes out the pack, but picks up a back block for her effort.
So both jammers hitting the box at the same time. Haas the Boss is released first, Lauren Much right behind her, and so we're back where we started from.
Well, okay, and what was very interesting about that situation, both jammers hit the penalty box at the same time, and by saying that, I am being literal. They hit the penalty box at the same time. The penalty box was pushed into the penalty box timers. They look to the center looking for a penalty call. Neither jammer assessed a penalty. Play is continuing.
How the pack at a standstill right there between 3 and 4.
I sense an official timeout at the end of this jam, and Lauren Much whistled for a track cut penalty.
So now a power jam opportunity for Haas the Boss, picking up 4 points on that last pass.
Lauren Much joining Jessica Shipley in the penalty box. Shipley standing, she is getting ready to leave.
Oh, Haas the Boss spinning around, pirouetting, 5 more points on the board for Texas. Haas the Boss taking advantage of this power jam and excellent footwork.
Well, that's what the Texecutioners have done this bout. Haas the Boss getting offense on the outside from Sarah Heupel. 5-point scoring pass. Team timeout, Rose City.
So now Texas with 199, oh no, 200. They have break the 200 mark. Rose City with 139, 61 points between these two teams. Rose taking a minute to reassess, knowing full well that they have to try to contain these jammers from Texas.
61 points, the difference on the scoreboard right now. 13 minutes, 5 seconds on the clock. Head referee Philip McCrevis going over and talking to the NSOs in the penalty box area. It seemed to be a short conversation.
So Haas the Boss in the second half has scored 26 points of her own. So with Rose King's points earlier, Texas was supposed to shut down Scald Eagle, but that's just one jammer. Rose has 4 jammers to work with for Texas that have been all scoring very well. Bloody Mary, Haas the Boss. We've seen Smarty Pants coming into the rotation in the second half. And of course, OJ, who is back on the line, of course, now right for Texas.
Lauren Much, jammer of record, starting this jam in the penalty box for Rose City. Texas Bridge has out their blockers backward, stretching out the pack. Moffitt and Blast Unicorn working up front.
But they have to let her go, and lead jammer goes to Texas.
Lauren Much out of the penalty box, working on the pack on her initial pass.
And knocked to the outside by Fifi Nominum, pulling her back, having to reset. And that is 5 more points for OJ.
Olivia Shooten-John getting around Mercy in turn 2. Lauren Much knocked out. No pass, no penalty. She is clear on her initial pass. Fifi Nominum being assessed a low block, reports to the penalty box for the Texecutioners.
So that's another 3 on the board for Texas. Now Texas extending their lead little by little. 2 points, 2 or 3 points at a time. 208 now for Texas, 139 for Rose.
You mentioned short points earlier, and this is exactly the situation the Texecutioners are looking for. They can short point this bout all the way to the final whistle. With under 12 minutes left to play, time definitely on the Texecutioners' side.
Exactly, and you do see them using a lot of clock management. We've seen that happen with, with both jammers scoring points, so lots of strategy employed all around.
Scald Eagle jamming for Wheels of Justice. Opposite.
That is Smarty Pants for Texas, going up against former teammate Jessica Shipley.
Chestnut now working for offense for Scald Eagle. Scald Eagle up against Barbara Ambush at the front of the pack. That's Barbara Ambush working with Shortcut.
Jessica Shipley has to let Smarty Pants go. 5 more points for Texas. Scald Eagle hot on the heels of Smarty Pants right now.
And notice how Smarty Pants is going to continue to push this jam. Texecutioners knowing that the time, again, on their side.
Exactly. Time on their side, big point spread. Smarty Pants, not very penalty prone herself. A good jammer to have out in this situation to try to draw these points out.
Scald Eagle fighting against the Texas 4-wall, employing a bit of a diamond defense. The Cyclone defense, as it has been called.
I just came up with that earlier today, but that's what they've been doing. It's not a wall anymore. It is a cyclone.
Great battle up front between Sarah Heipel and Scald Eagle. Scald clears the pack for 4 points.
All right, so now Texas on the board with 2:18, 1:43 for Rose. Just a little over 10 minutes left in this second half of this so exciting matchup.
Looks like Megan Moffitt lined up to jam for Wheels of Justice opposite Haas the Boss.
And we have nobody in the penalty box right now, so 4-on-4 with Rose favoring the front wall.
That may well be my perception, but it seems like a while since we've started a jam at full strength. Slow start to this jam.
Haas taking a moment to sneak through the outside there. Texas pushing the entire pack to the inside.
Moffitt going from the outside to the inside, clears the pack on her initial pass. Haas the Boss looking to her bench, trying to find out what should be done. Multiplayer block being called. Moffitt clears the pack.
So Haas the Boss still in control. Lead jam. Texas has had the lead jam the last 4 jams.
4 points for each jammer, as Penny Dreadful was the one who picked up that multiplayer block.
And the pack at a standstill here. Everybody just pushing on each other.
Shades of the first half where the jammers had to fight for every inch.
She continues to try to muscle her way through.
I mean, it's a big mass of wheels and arms and skates and...
On a 4-3 blocker advantage in favor of the Texecutioners, Penny Dreadful standing in the penalty box. Moffitt making some headway as she pushes the Texecutioners blockers out of turn 4 almost. Then she gets pushed to the inside and recycled to the back. And the Wheels of Justice blockers trying to contain the Texecutioners jammer.
That's right, that was Bitter Cup taking her to the inside. Again, Texas very patient with their strategy here, just slowly moving.
Yes. It's a tractor pull.
Moffitt recycled again back to the entrance of turn 3.
And meanwhile, up front, dead stop. Rose completely stopping Haas the Boss at the front of the pack.
And for the Texecutioners, not necessarily a bad thing.
Not necessarily a bad thing, as long as the clock is ticking down and the lead is still in favor of Texas, which is now 226 to 151. They can waste all the time they want.
It seemed like that mass of skaters was down between turn 3 and turn 4 for a good 20, almost 30 seconds of that jam.
Again, huge defense on both of these teams, though.
Well, it was the Texecutioners' impressive defense last season that almost got them a victory against Gotham in the championship, so it's no surprise they're putting that on display again this weekend. Olivia Shootin' through the pack, lead jammer Texecutioners. Lauren Much clears the pack on her initial pass. Olivia Shootin' fighting against Chestnut on a scoring pass. Lauren Much on the back of Barbara Ambush trying to make some headway. Barbara Ambush pushes her outside the exit of turn 2.
That's right, forcing her to recycle and do it all again with that cyclone wall that is Bitter Cup, Shortcut, and Barbara Ambush.
Chestnut trying to get Lauren Much some offense. 4 points on that scoring pass for Olivia Shootin' John. Lauren Much involved in a battle up front with Barbara Ambush. Lauren Much finally clearing the pack on a 4-point scoring pass.
I said Bella DeBall rejoining the pack. 4-4 in the pack right now. Olivia Shootin' John in control. 4 more points on the board.
And we have that mass of skaters in turn 4. Lauren Much trying to make some headway. Nice move by Olivia Shootin' John. Looks like she was pushed to the inside by the Blast Unicorn. Lauren Much finding room to work. Jamie True giving her some help. 4-point scoring pass. Wheels of Justice.
And Olivia Shootin' John calling it off as she's being pushed to the outside by Jessica Chestnut. 2:34 now for Texas, 1:59 for Rose. We got about 5.5 minutes left. Rose has got a little bit of work to do. If they're going, they need a few power jams themselves. We saw Scald with the only one so far in this game for Rose. They need a couple of more of them.
Texecutioners have been very diligent in keeping their jammers on the track all bout long.
And Texas with lead jam the last 5 jams. So in control of the pack, of course, getting that lead jammer status very important. Smarty Pants looking for that opportunity right now.
Smarty Pants dropped by Rodriguez, track cut. That is going to put Scald Eagle in a power jam. Get some offense from Rodriguez. Dances around shortcut lead jammer, Wheels of Justice.
They must have heard me say that they needed another power jam, because there it is right there, and see what Scald can do with this.
Sarah Heupel in the backfield trying to stop Scald Eagle. She gets recycled. Lots of skaters going down on the track. Rodriguez with some offense again against shortcut. 5-point grand slam, Scald Eagle. Blockers not taking any time off during this jam, battling for position as Scald comes round the track.
Yeah, they're not waiting for the jammers to come around. They're knocking each other around, but Scald does get through, put another 5 points on the board, but Smarty has been released and hitting the back wall of Rose right now.
Smarty taking down Scylla Devour. Scald Eagle now working against the back of the pack.
She makes a hole in the wall. She's up to 15 points on the jam.
Scald somehow stays on her feet. 5-point scoring pass, Rose City.
And now Smarty Pants through on her initial pass, now also eligible to score points.
Rodriguez headed to the penalty box for Rose City. That's unfortunate. She had been great on offense for Scald Eagle in that jam. 3 more points for Rose City as Scald calls it off.
So now Texas with 242, Rose with 174. Scald not able to capitalize enough on that last power jam.
Well, you saw in that shot there, Scald breathing deeply, trying to get oxygen to those lungs. That was a long jam.
It was a long jam. She did manage to pull out 18 points, however, from that last jam.
Looks like Megan Moffitt wearing the star for Rose City.
And that is Haas the Boss battling for lead jammer first status. Status for Texas.
Gaither and Chestnut working up front against Haas the Boss. No pack called. Lead jammer, Texecutioners.
And that's Loose Bandit heading to the penalty box.
Jessica Shipley, big back block. She is going to head to the penalty box. Moffitt on her way for a low block, it looked like.
So now Haas the Boss in a power jam for Texas. We have 3-on-3 in the pack. Oh, I'm sorry, pack. Oh, yes, right. 1 player from each team in the penalty box.
Haas the Boss working against Rodriguez and Chestnut at the front of the pack. Rodriguez moving Haas the Boss side to side. Chestnut providing stability to that now, trying to push against the 2 of them. Haas the Boss fights her way through. 5-point scoring pass, Texecutioners.
And Loose Bandit rejoining the pack. They're playing a little passive offense here, letting Haas do all the work.
Chestnut and Rodriguez again working against Haas the Boss. Haas the Boss finds a way around for 5 points as Moffitt and Shipley return to play. Moffitt now working against the Texecutioners defense. Both teams letting their jammer duke it out.
Tried to bellow the ball, bridging the gap between the two packs or micro packs.
Slow moving. We have a low block penalty against Jessica Chestnut. Rodriguez also being sent to the penalty box. Wheels of Justice losing 2 blockers. And a failure to reform on Gaither. Those may well be the final nails in the coffin.
That's right, we have 2 players for Rose in the penalty box, 1 on the wait list. Not what they need right now. 262 for Texas, 178 for Rose. We've got about a minute left. We're gonna have a team timeout now for Rose.
Now you can see there, well, you could for just a second on the right side of your screen, that was head referee Philip McCrevis addressing now Penny Dreadful and the Wheels of Justice coach. Sarah Heipel was in there talking to Philip McCrevis.
You're welcome. I don't know what that means. They just write it down. I say it.
So now 82 points between these 2 teams. The first half we saw very evenly matched back and forth, with both teams scoring a few short points here. Of course, power jams really in Texas's favor in that first half. Rose only able to pull out 2 power jams in the second half. Scald with a big score of 18, but we saw bigger scores from Texas in their power jams.
Well, and this is the Texecutioners' second bout today. An
They're just
impressive
warmed up.
performance. Yeah.
They're just getting warmed up. There's another one later. There's the midnight one.
I don't know that I'm going to stay around to call that.
And of course, earlier today we saw both teams, B teams, play against each other. Very evenly matched, exciting game there. That is Olivia Shooten-John, lead jammer for Texas.
Lauren Much working against the front of the pack. She is clear now on her initial pass.
Sneaking right through the inside, barely touched. Olivia Shooten-John putting 4 more points on the board.
Lauren Much pinballs herself through the pack on her way to 4 points. Gaither turning to the penalty box, and Olivia Shooten-John clearing the pack for 4 points for the Texecutioners. Nice offense by Chestnut, getting Lauren Much through. And then a big hit on Olivia Shooten-John.
Forcing her to recycle all the way through, but Olivia Shooten-John is just going to keep plugging away, knowing full well that this period is very close to being over, so she's just going to run down that clock.
Well, Olivia Shooten-John getting a counter block in against Chestnut. Lauren Much clear of the pack on a scoring pass. Both jammers looking to add to their point totals.
It was Much to get 5, and that looks like that is going to be time. Olivia Shooten-John doing an excellent job just running down that clock, trying to stay clean, stay out of the penalty box. So our unofficial final score right now looks like 274. Rose with 194.
Well, I think it is safe to say the Texecutioners victorious in this one.
I would think that's a safe thing to say.
Fans watching at home, I hope you have enjoyed this amazing bout between these 2 teams.
And of course, tomorrow morning we're going to see Texas back here at track 1 at 11 a.m. after both Phillies and Texas's B teams play against each other at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we have another B team, A team situation.
2 days of amazing Derby in the books, 1 left to go. Fans, thank you for tuning in. Pleased to be sticking around. I do believe that we are going to have the Derby Deeds event desk wrapping up everything that went on in this bout and everything that has gone on here at the Big O today.
And thank you for watching us on WFTDA.tv, if that's where you're watching from at home. Again, that is it for today. Tune back in 9 a.m. tomorrow.
And we've got the Wheels of Justice now taking their victory lap after the Texecutioners took theirs.
And they still have to be proud of that game. I mean, Texas, we saw last year with the Goffin game, huge defense. Rose very formidable opponents. Their defense also very excellent. Just need a few more jammers in their rotation to help put those points on the board for Rose.
Texecutioners writing the book on defense right now. Teams at home, if you're watching, that was a clinic right there. Our final score, Texas 274, Rose 194. Momentarily, we will kick it over to the derbydeeds.com event desk. Fans, stay tuned. Thank you for watching WFTDA TV.
Go. I'd like to do a shout out on behalf of Air Raid Roller Girls to our awesome coach, Super Six Pack. We hope for a speedy recovery. We love you, Sam!
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. How's it going? We're here at the derbydeeds.com event desk at the Big O, brought to you by Adam Wheels and Adam Wheels' new Boom Wheels lineup that you can find at roller derby skate shops near you. Wow, wow, wow. I have to say one thing. Teeny, you were right.
I was right.
You were right.
Yeah, I was.
What were you right about exactly?
The fact that the game was going to be a lot closer for a lot longer than I think most expected. I mean, Rose drew blood first and really dominated the first two jams. Lead percentage was up. Ultimately, penalties. The dips in performance were due to penalties. If you're not on the track, you can't score well. So I was right.
And
the last 15 minutes were? And the last 15 minutes is really, it was about who finished stronger at the end. I think they could have kept that tight point spread if in those last 15 minutes they didn't continue to have penalty trouble.
So, penalty troubles. It's very clear. 24 trips to the box total for Texas. 45 for Rose. 3 power jams for Rose. 10 power jams for Texas. That's the game right there. Speaking of Rose City and Texas.
Sorry, I'm late.
No, you're fine. Welcome. We're joined by Belle Starr, a.k.a. Shipley.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing so well. I just got done playing roller derby. Maybe they've already filled you in, but I just played my old team. I was with that league for 8 years. It's my second year with Rose City, so it's my first opportunity to play Texas. Lots of fun.
I think it's really exciting. Like, this is the first time that you have faced off against your old team. What were you looking at game-wise going into it, knowing that you have played with your opponents for so long?
I first off didn't want to get confused and block the wrong jammers. I also wanted to help my team share the wealth of knowledge that I had about that team and not let any mental game hold me back, not overthink things, just look at them as opponents, not try and think, oh, OJ likes the inside, or not try and overthink any of that, and just get back down to playing good old-fashioned roller derby.
Did you find any muscle memory come back, having played these skaters so you played against them at home teams and stuff like that? So did you find yourself at certain points just instinctively going after certain things that you anticipated, or?
Yes, I did. And I tried to tell my friends as much as possible, my new friends, my purple friends, as much as possible what I was seeing and anticipating. There are little twitches and tells that they do have that I have noticed over the years. So when I would see one of them start to do it, I would convey it. What was the other part of that question?
No, you got it. You got it. That was it.
Just didn't want to overthink it too much, though, because I obviously don't know everything about them, and even though I got to play against them sometimes at Saturday scrimmage, I don't know everything, and it has been almost 2 years.
Did you have any moments on the flip side where you felt like they had shared maybe with some Texas teammates, like they knew your tells simultaneously as working against you?
I don't think they thought of me as a threat. I don't think I was anticipated at all. There was no know nothing, but I'm also, you know, just a blocker. So
How dare you?
I did see a couple of jammers take the side that they know is my weaker side. Yeah, but I knew they were going to do that. I already had taken an extra step
I know
to
that you
side.
know.
Yeah, I know that you know that I know that you know.
So going into the game, what were the keys for Rose City against Texas? What were you looking at overall as a team?
Big picture.
Big picture, we definitely wanted to play together and to be disciplined and not try and swing for hits, not try and take anybody out of bounds, not try and do anything by ourselves. If we did try and go play offense, we really wanted to come back to that defense because you can't underestimate them for 1 second, you know. So trying to help our jammers as much as possible, but definitely locking down the D.
How did you adjust throughout the game? Jake just shared that there was about 45 penalty minutes.
45, yeah. 45
for Rose.
trips, yeah. 45 trips for Rose.
So that playing together gets tricky when you don't have as much personnel on the floor. What adjustments were you making in game to find each other on the track when there's less of you?
I think those are the moments that we struggled, and that's our homework. When we were down players, we would play together, but we obviously can't cover the track the same way that we can when we have everybody out. So there were holes between people, and their jammers were taking those opportunities. So, I mean, we just try to do as much damage control as possible. And whenever you go out and you're down a blocker, you know that the most important thing you can do in that jam is come back to your bench at the end of it. And not have had to go sit at that other third middle bench in the middle of the jam.
Well, it was very clear that when you had 4 on the floor and you were able to do your solid D and your solid offense, you were very successul. So
Thank you.
You guys dominated lead jammer in the first half. Even with the penalties trips, it wasn't extreme in the first half against you. But you dominated lead jammer with even odds out there. The execution was clearly favoring Rose City the entire bout. It was the only issue really was the penalties. The 3 biggest opportunities I saw from last year for Rose City were containment, focus on containment, offense, play offense. Those 2 came through huge tonight. We saw this weekend so far. We saw such improvements in that, such improvements in the defense. So much so that anyone fighting you on even odds, now it seems like penalties is the last thing. Penalties is the last thing.
Yeah, and I don't think that we should give credit to the penalties for any one particular person or to the jammers or any of that, because really as our jammers get tired, that's when they commit more penalties, you know. That's when they go out of bounds more, and that's when cuts happen, you know, all the things.
Yeah, it wasn't just power jams. It was 4 versus 2.
Right.
Texas didn't give up a power jam in the first period, and they've given up 3 all overall, and that was key for them in that. But execution-wise, Rose City had the upper hand just about the entire game.
now, I know it's hard to talk about what can we fix when you have just lost a game, but
Did we lose? Wait, we didn't win?
what do you feel like you can fix after looking at this game on such a high level?
I think we need to run longer jams at practice. We're so honest about roller derby that when that other jammer's coming to score points, we shut it down, and that's how we're trained. You know, we really do try and play within the context of the rules and not do tricky things. And I think that really killed us in the end of it whenever they were running longer jams, and you could just see it on our jammers' faces. I do think that we need to train some more people to be able to take on that star as well.
Are you tossing your hat in the ring? As a just blocker.
I switched home teams in Texas because they told me I was going to have to jam because I was a veteran.
So you run from your problems.
Sayonara. Yes, it is a true story. I moved to Portland. No, I like new challenges, but I find that the new challenge is always getting better at blocking. I still haven't learned everything about blocking, and until I master that one, I'm good there. Thanks. But no, I think that we should definitely practice longer jams. I think that we also need to practice being down players because we are such a teamy team, and when we've got all the players, we know we can do it, and we aren't used to not having all of our players on the track with us, so I think those 2 scenarios would help us moving forward.
Right on. Well, it's been a pleasure having you here, and thank you so much for coming and talking to us, especially with that perspective of having played with them for so long.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you so much for having me.
And great work out there.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
All right, murder back to the team now.
Fantastic
I'll
game.
take care. Awkward.
Careful there.
Thank you.
Can we talk about those running jams? Because
Yeah.
I think that tactically is something that I have been wanting to see for a long time, and I don't think we've seen enough of. If you have enough of an edge, you have the power, especially if you can consistently get lead jammer to end the game long before it's ended, and not a lot of coaches take up on that. But pretty much that game was over with about 10-15 minutes left.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Outside a complete Texas meltdown. They had the double jam, power jam that Haas had, about 12th jam in the second period. They had 6 out of the next 7 lead jams, ran 2 minutes the whole time. There wasn't room for Rose City to come back. There wasn't room, and I thought that was the most disciplined, mature choice tactically that Texas could have made.
Right.
I mean, if they just did the hits and stops over and over again, you would have afforded Rose City a lot of opportunity and momentum.
Yes.
So I thought that.
Well, the only choice Rose had when they did get lead at the end was the 4 and call. 4 and calls. They had to keep that short pace.
And even they only had that one opportunity. They really only had that one opportunity. They got a power jam out of it, 1 of 3 for the entire bout. But of all the things I think Texas did right, the discipline was amazing, the ability to stay on the track, the coordinated defense to offense. But what won that game was when they were like, all right, 2-minute jams, we're doing that. I thought that was brilliant, and I think that's why they're number 2.
And they did that against Kansas City this morning.
Yeah.
You know, they pushed those jams all the way to 2 minutes and scored as many points as they can. As we've been saying all day, point differential is going to be huge. How this point differential, the final score 274 to 194, that's an 80-point win for Texas. How that point differential works out in the math is going to be very interesting, because it could be really great for Rose City that they scored, that they only came within 80 points.
Well, between 2 and 6, I think it's going to impact Texas in a very positive way, you know, with that running away that, you know, they could have rolled the dice with the quick jams. They could have rolled the dice and gone for the 4 and 4 and 4 and 4. But then you're playing the game against their lead jammers, which they dominated.
Right.
So when they got the lead, they ran
once you're lead, don't give them a chance to score any points, or let them score their points within that jam, but not have another chance at lead. Right. You're right. It's very mature. That's very wise
choose
strategy.
The shootout.
Right.
Yeah. It worked out great for them, and I thought that was brilliant. I was like, well, that they were playing chess at that point.
And like we said earlier, deep jammer bench for Texas.
Well, Texas just looks more polished than Rose City did tonight. Rose City looks like they were throwing some things against the wall, trying to see what would stick. That's fine. I get it. They're playing up. They got to do what they got to do. And I'd say they had good success tonight.
Yeah.
However, Texas just looks polished, clean, calculated, calm. Every time you look at Smarty Pants, man, dead serious,
Ice cold
as can be. Somebody can be beating on her, and she comes out of it totally calm. It's amazing, that team.
Let's talk about Scylla Devour.
Yeah,
that was the front of the pack.
I don't ever want to go up against her.
I've known. I'm just gonna say for the record, I've known about Scylla for about 3 years, and I've been waiting for the rest of the world to get on it with Scylla Devour. Like no one's made, like, Agent Mal's the only one that's made a shirt out of her. That's way too few people making shirts for her. Just constant, aggressive, incredible. She's the only blocker. Never gave up. She's the only blocker I've ever seen that is blown up. I mean, blown up. Both Scald Eagle and Bonnie Thunders. Find anyone else who's done that. I haven't seen it.
Nice.
And she's been like this for years. No one sees her. I love that about her, and I hate to give away the secret of Scylla Devour, but I can't sit on it anymore. She's incredible, and she doesn't get the recognition that I think she deserves, and I think she's just fine with that. But man, oh man, she played lights out tonight. Jam after jam after jam after jam.
Watching her take on Bloody Mary, jam after jam after jam, was incredible. And then you have Bloody Mary, who's not giving up as a jammer, and just hitting her and hitting her and hitting her. It was, oh man.
Yeah, that was a boxing match in turn 3.
Incredible to watch.
Oh my goodness.
Another highlight of this game that I have to bring up is when Moffitt, number 2, our buddy Frenchie, when she screams around turn 1, stops, drops to her knee, and goes underneath the wall of Texas.
It looked like she fell and then was like, well, while I'm here, I found a hole between her knees, and she just went through.
Honestly, from our position, it looked like she heard a whistle. She thought it was a jam whistle, so she stopped, dropped, and then saw that everything was still going. So she just started crawling, and it was, if we had a highlight reel.
Oh man, that would be it.
Unfortunately, she disqualified herself for lead, and that's what killed her on that particular jam. But it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
We got a good story out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. The bad news,
no one would talk about it.
The bad news in all of this is that Treasure Valley is going to get annihilated tomorrow afternoon by Rose City, because Rose City is going to be very, very, very angry tomorrow afternoon, and Treasure Valley is going to get beat up because of it.
I think Rose City's got to be proud of their performance. I don't think they're angry. I think they came in. I think they're still on an upward swing. They're hungry for sure, but
I hope they look at their opportunities. That's the thing. I hope they look at what beat them, and I hope they will look at what they can improve. And it's, you know, the keys to the game for them. One of them was staying on the track. That's clearly a thing. The other one is they need a plan for that third jammer.
Yes.
You can't have a regular rotation with number 3 there. Yes, develop someone, great, but that lineup that goes out there with that third jammer cannot be arbitrary. It cannot be just another lineup. You need to set up for either powerful offense or powerful defense, but that situation has to be addressed pre-game.
We spoke to that before this too, the adjustments depending on who your opponent's putting on the floor, and I didn't see a lot of that.
No.
I saw a lot of setting up, sending out, right?
Yeah, and you're
going to meet whatever's next.
You can do that with Scald and Much.
Yeah.
But if you're throwing out that third person, you have to have a different game plan set up. And there's 5 to pick one from. Pick one. You can go all defense. You can go all offense. You can play 5th blocker. I don't know. But it can't be, okay, this is the jammer and this is the blockers, because no, it's not going to work. That other team will capitalize. We saw it like crazy tonight.
Yep.
Texas took full advantage of those opportunities. And we're really able to stay with it, even when Rose was out executing him.
All in all, wonderful game to end day 2 here at the Big O. We're getting the high sign that we need to start wrapping up. So quickly from track number 2, AZRD over Kokeshi. You had talked about this, about a 500-point win, and that's exactly what they did. 609 to 98.
Actually, that's not the final score, but it's upward of that at this point. So
you hit the 500 though.
Yeah.
And for Kokeshi, biggest point margin that they've had so far. This is the most amount of points that they have put up so far. And so nice work for Kokeshi. And with 20 minutes left, a couple minutes ago on track 3, Aldriki and Sac City neck and neck, 92 Aldriki, 98 Sac City. Tomorrow morning, we are going to be...
Were you talking about us?
Yeah, we were.
Hi.
How's it going?
We got you a shirt.
Oh my goodness.
And we wrapped it because you're cool like that.
Skies.
Right? We totally just went for it, sorry.
No, it's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thought we'd come over and say hi.
This is really great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's really awesome. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be here, track 1, 9 in the morning. Philly Independence Dolls versus Texas Firing Squad. B-team action. We've had it all weekend. It's been really good. So tune in for that. 9 a.m., track 2, Ole versus Terminal City.
Could be a very good game.
Yeah. Terminal City is on the rise, and I'm very excited to see how they do. Terminal City also playing Kansas City tomorrow. I can't wait for that game. 9:30, track 3. Juniors game, Lava City versus Humboldt. That should be a pretty evenly matched game. I'm excited to see how that turns out.
For those of you who are following the juniors, we didn't get you the final score from track 3 from an earlier game. ECRG's Junior Gems beat Humboldt Saplings 326 to 162. So you're up to date with that one anyway.
So we have a lot of derby tomorrow, day 3 of the Big O. There's lots going on around the country. We're going to try to get you as many updates as we can from around the world. And so we're going to be here after every game on track 1. This is the DerbyDeeds.com events desk, brought to you by Adam Wheels. Huge thanks to Adam Wheels. Huge thanks to Blaze Streaming Media. Those guys are really... oh, I'm sorry, did I? Adam Wheels and their Boom Wheels lineup.
There it is.
Huge thanks to Blaze Streaming Media. Without them, we would not be able to do what we're doing right now, and we love being able to talk to you. So thank you guys so much up there in the booth, and thanks to you for sticking around and watching and tuning in with us talking smack about Derby. So until tomorrow, Sunday of the Big O, I'm Megatron.
I'm Pitchit.
I'm Teeny.
Just Jake.
Thanks a lot for watching. We will see you tomorrow at 9 in the morning.